Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Snort, snort, snort.
Kogan. Drip.
Snort, snort.
I got the drip. Go.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the show. We already have technical issues.
Serious technical difficulties are assailing the stream. How shitty is my mic, Phil?
Your mic actually sounds good, and I actually have you on screen. No, it actually looks good.
Way. No
Can't believe
way. We did it after more than a half hour of me loafing, ghosting, and snaking Phil. I finally made it to the show.
Yeah,
Let's go.
the big return show.
It's the return of PPP. Finally, PPP has returned to Smart Guys.
That's right. No one misses me. I never leave. I'm always here. But you're coming back here.
You're always here, Phil. You need a vacation, bud. You gotta go to the zoo or whatever.
The zoo.
Is that what they're saying? You gotta go to the zoo, buddy?
Gotta go to the zoo. For some reason, this is like a thing. They want me at the zoo with my wife, documenting every moment.
Did you say you were gonna go to the zoo with your wife, Phil?
Yeah, like 5 years ago.
And then why didn't you go?
Because we didn't get there. For whatever reason. I don't even remember originally.
An hour away, Phil.
I know, it's not even an hour away.
What are you, being a loafy, lazy piece of shit like me?
That's right.
And not showing up on time to the zoo, Phil?
Well, for me, it's because life gets in the way. But for you, it's because wireless gets in the way. So.
But you know, listen, this fucking lesbo Lex showed up to the zoo. Why can't you?
Oh, I didn't even know that. I'm so
You
out of
have
the loop
no
with all that shit.
idea, but you're seething about it
idea.
all week long. You're seething that IronChefSakai gave. I told you not to trust him.
Oh, and I
told
didn't.
you.
He didn't.
I
He got
told
nothing.
you
He
was
got
a
no.
dirty snake, buddy.
He got no sword back. He got nothing. Nothing at
It
all.
was your money he sent to this lesbo. What are we doing, bud?
You got to wonder whose money it is, actually. The amount that he's dropping at this point, it's like, where's that money coming from? I don't know if it's could it possibly even be from his job?
You saying it's from Epstein or something, Phil? What are
Maybe.
you saying?
It could be like some
No.
Middle Eastern oil money or something. Yeah.
No, Phil, no. Oh, fuck yeah. Okay, well, we're back here on Smart Guys Momentous Occasions.
Anyway, all right, here we go.
John Rambo comes to you. Phil, come on, man. Sorry, dude.
Who? John who? I don't know who the fuck that is. Anyway, here we go. The first pack ever of Topps Chrome 2025 collectible cards. Here we go. What are we going to have in the pack? It's supposed to be 4 cards per pack. Here we go.
We really do. We need that money. Come on.
We need it.
Come on, we need that money.
I got bills to pay, man. I got bills to
We
pay.
got bills to pay.
Here we
got
go.
bills to pay.
So here's what it looks like. All right. There's some writing on there. I don't know what that means. Like some robot writing on the pack. All right. First card. Ooh, it's a Legends card, it looks like. Looks like a Legends.
Ooh,
All right.
it's a Hogan!
Who
it's
is
a
it?
Hogan!
Who is it? It is
John
Cena.
Ooh, it's actually a pretty good Cena.
It's like a chrome Cena. I don't know if it's any
Chromium
good.
Cena?
Yeah, I don't
You
know.
don't have the values. You'll learn. Just like with WWE champions, you'll learn.
It's 16, John Cena. I don't know if it's any good or not. Actually, I got to put on my reading glasses. I can't even read anymore because I'm old, like old fart. Here we go. Put on my...
Oh, no, not geriatric Phil again.
So it says, hold on. It says,
Sorry you're bored, Mr. Positivity. I'm trying, bro.
called the greatest of all time by legendary WWE announcer Michael Cole, John Cena has seemingly done it all in WWE.
Yeah?
His Hall of Fame-worthy career, I've seen him capture the WWE World Championship 16 times along the way. It's just it's just like stroking John Cena. That's all it is. It doesn't really say anything. Topps Chrome. I think it's just a regular card. I don't think that's a special one.
Like, is it like Pokimane or whatever, where you can? It has abilities or something, or is it like Yu-Gi-Oh? Or
it's literally just like a little description on there. It's nothing special. Just like a paragraph that's like strokes Cena's ego. So, all right. So there we go. There's the first. Second card. This one says from SmackDown. It's a modern SmackDown superstar. It's
what the fuck?
Piper Niven, but it's in black and white. Why is it in black and white?
What?
It's actually like, it's weird. It's like I don't know if it's a special card or not. See that? It's like black and white Piper Niven.
Are they all like chromium?
This
like,
one.
Is that how all of them are?
This one is just like silver. See, it doesn't really have that effect. This one does have like a chromium effect to it. So maybe this is a rarer card. I don't know.
Oh
Piper.
God, it's Cat.
How dare you? But the bummer is it's Piper Niven. That's the problem. Like it's fucking
I
Piper
know,
Niven,
right?
dude. So
like,
it's
who gives a shit?
even if it was like the best card, it's not going to be worth anything. So, Unos did a $5 super chat. Phil and PPP, did you hear that RTU has threatened KingSly T, who's a black creator, with slurs, and then he threatened Grace Thorpe with a shotgun?
Yeah, so I saw he called this black guy an Uncle Tom, which it's like, who the fuck are you to call him that, Rich? I don't know. You know what I mean?
Wait a minute. You can't. I mean, that's totally, listen, if you're going to call someone that, you have to be in that situation. You know what I mean? Like if it was another black guy calling him that, I would totally understand it. But why the hell is he saying that?
I don't know. Rich is just seething because this guy blew him the fuck out with facts and logic. The guy came with receipts and evidence to back up his points. And Rich was just a blubbering, retarded fool who started seething. And then he decided, okay, well, I'm going to make it political. And it ended up backfiring on him. And now there's a bunch of backlash because he called this guy an Uncle Tom.
What a dunce.
And it's just the guy has a disagreement with Rich. It doesn't mean that he's shucking and jiving for massa on the plantation. And by the way, Rich, it is fucked to take anybody who's right-leaning, who's black, and call them an Uncle Tom. It really robs agency from black people. Not like I'm the biggest champion of black people, but like it really does take their agency away to say, no, you can only be on the Democratic plantation. You know, that's where it's fucked, Rich. But then Rich, like the lunatic that he is, invited the Thorpes to his house. Which, what are you thinking, Rich? What are you thinking, bro? What are you thinking? Like, don't do that. Well, then, of course, it doesn't work out, and he cancels on them, but they don't give a fuck, because they're out for content. So they come to his fucking house, they're streaming outside his house. So what does Rich do? Well, he escalates it even more. He goes out and buys a shotgun, which he's not even legally allowed to have in the state of New York, because he's a medical marijuana holder. And so I imagine it was his father who bought this shotgun. But Rich admits to being very mentally ill. He's on a plethora of medications that make him an irresponsible gun owner. And, you know, I'm big in favor of the Second Amendment. You know, I believe that anybody should be able to get a gun and defend themselves. But one person who I might make an exception for would be Rich of ReviewTechUSA. I'm not sure he can handle the responsibility of being a firearm owner, because he's fucking nuts. He's fucked in the head.
People think I'm joking.
20.
People think I'm joking when I say that man is mentally ill, but I'm not joking. Like, his actions prove that he is not right in the head. I mean, the things he does, just in regards to me, his level of obsession with me, I built this Lego behind me. So what did he have to do? He had to run out and buy the same fucking Lego set and build it. Just because I built it. There was no rhyme or reason to it. He just had to copy me because that's who he is. So, I mean, he's nuts. You're going to give this guy weapons and oh, my God. Well, I don't know anything about that.
I don't think he could have bought it. And I believe there's a 6-month waiting period as well. So I'm not really sure how this weapon was obtained.
Yeah.
It would have had to have been Rich's father or mother or somebody else. Like, they have like 10 people living in that house. Like, it's a fucking ghetto or something like this, crammed in under the floorboards. Somebody in that house acquired it. Or maybe Rich just took an image off Google. I don't fucking know. But from what I understand, he shouldn't be able to have that firearm because he has a medical marijuana card. And the state of New York disqualifies you. We'll see what ends up happening with all of that. I just think it's always a bad idea to escalate that shit.
Right.
And I feel like he should just ignore them and try and move on with his life, but he has to get the win because he's a big, tough guy. I'm from New York. We don't play.
He's the mob boss, the New York mafioso.
It's time to get a grip, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you're a 400-pound nerdy fucking guy. Like, let's all just get a grip here. But let's go into some grill, Phil. Phil, what's going on, man? So, yesterday, you had a pizza party.
was great.
A pizza party.
It was
Phil.
delicious.
And I noticed that for your pizza party, you ordered Domino's pizza.
That's incorrect. I ordered Papa John's pizza, actually.
Was it Papa John's pizza, Phil?
It was Papa John's, yes.
My question is, you really couldn't find anything better than Papa John's pizza?
Oh, absolutely.
Because you're supposedly this Italian man, you know, who has this amazing, authentic Italian palate. And yet here you are, for your fans, their reward. You cheap out and you get this shitty Papa John's pizza from a chain, Phil? Really?
Yes. Well, I mean, first of all, to be completely transparent here, I live in Washington State. There is sadly no authentic Italian in Washington State. The Italians are on the East Coast of the U.S., not on the West.
This is bullshit, Phil.
No, it's not.
There's no Italian people in Washington State.
Me. There's me.
There are
That's
fucking
it.
Italians everywhere, Phil.
I haven't seen any.
Cope, bro.
I can't find any.
This is such bullshit.
Yeah,
You're telling me there's not one pizza
Listen to
place
this. Listen to
in
this.
area.
When I first moved here over a decade ago, there was a restaurant. They claimed the chef was like an Italian guy who flies to Europe every year to learn Italian recipes.
Just like you.
They brought me a plate of pasta. I ate it. It tasted like fucking Mexican food. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, this is not Italian.
It tasted like Mexican food.
Yeah. It had this wrong seasonings, the wrong sauce. I'm like, what is this? This nasty shit is like fusion eating or something. And there's a couple restaurants out here that are okay, but there is nothing that's close to authentic Italian that I've had yet since I've lived here. There are some good pizza places, but they're not authentic Italian. Like there's a brick oven place that's really good. Go ahead.
You're coping, Phil. It's okay. Let me just ask you, do you think it's a bit sad that you're doing a Papa John's pizza party alone in your mid-40s to strangers online?
No, absolutely not. It beats
it beats doing
it. It beats doing it when I was alone and not doing it for the internet. That's for sure. At least I'm sharing with someone on the internet, right? No, I that food, we ordered a bunch and my wife had some and it was just a meal for us, but I did the DSP tries it as well.
But just like, because what you did in tandem with it, you bought Ninja Turtles?
That's right. Of course.
How old are you, Phil? You're playing with Ninja Turtles?
Hell yeah. And I love Ninja Turtles. Well, I like the old Ninja Turtles.
Phil, you're fucking 43 years old and you're loving Ninja Turtles? Bro, come on.
No,
man.
but I love the classic Ninja Turtles. I hate that there's 17 versions of Ninja Turtles. I haven't watched anything since like the 90s. So these are like the 1990s movie Ninja Turtles that they put into Call of Duty. So I bought some of the skins and the weapons and stuff to have like a little celebration stream for my fans here.
You're playing as what, Michelangelo?
No, Raphael. How'd you get it all wrong? It was Raphael. Raphael with the size. And when he stabs you double stab like in your nipples and he lifts you up like this. It's a hilarious animation.
But don't you think that eventually people should move on from their childhood?
Absolutely.
Like this is getting a bit crazy. Ninja Turtles in 2025. I don't know, Phil.
I thought it was a fun event. The viewers seemed to like it, so it was all good. And the pizza was actually okay. It wasn't great. It was just okay. So
we got to get you a real pizza, Phil. All right. Let's move on. This is what everybody wants to hear about.
All right.
What the hell is going on with Iron Chef Sakai?
Honestly,
Sakai, whatever you want to call him.
If you want to know the truth, from my perspective, I don't know and I don't really care. Here's what happened. Here's what happened from the perspective of the stream. Okay. So there was one night and I was streaming and for some reason, actually, I don't know why this has been happening because it's happened a few times now. Kick actually chose to put me on the front page and highlight me for like a half an hour, something like that. Okay. I don't know why they're doing that. I have no clue.
What do you mean you don't know why? It's because you're the greatest streamer alive, Phil.
Yes, of course. Because the guy who's playing like a game about digging a hole, that's actually the name of the game. It's an indie game. I'm sure that really puts the butts in seats on Kick. It's going to get new viewers to watch me fucking dig in the middle of the backyard, right?
Why are you doing that then, Phil?
Because it's just something random and fun to do. People want an indie game. And I said, we'll just do it for one night. And we did. And it actually worked out. It was like a nice chill
Now,
stream
here's
for my
why I
viewers.
think that you would get on the front page is because you're very consistent. You stream 6 days a week and you stream like very long. So I imagine they would want to, because you put so many hours out, to get more eyes on those hours. But it's not been working. It's not been growing.
Well, what happens is when they do it, I get an influx of like 100, 200 extra people. And we do get some new people chatting, which is nice. But then basically they stick around for like an hour and a half and then they leave, like people are really not coming to Kick for the kind of content that I put out, right? Like Kick is known for certain kinds of content.
Let me just put it to you this way. Do you think that Iron Chef Sakai is your slave?
My slave? No, of course not.
Yeah, or do you think he's like your prostitute working a corner for you, or
Not at all. I actually don't even know what his deal
like
is
are
because
you the pimp, or like because it seems to me, and you can deny this and cope all that you want, but it seems to me you're pretty seething and salty that Iron Chef Sakai is giving you what you perceive as your money to this woman.
not at all. I could care less. In fact, with Iron Chef Sakai, it was kind of a weird thing. This was not like a guy who I knew of who had been watching my content for like a long time and supporting. He kind of like showed up out of nowhere one day last year and just started supporting like big. And then he would disappear for like a long time. And then he would come back like 3 months later and drop another big contribution. I was like, okay, maybe he's one of those people who only watches occasionally. And then all of a sudden back in the fall, he started dropping a lot on streams. I was like, whoa. And it got to the point where he was like, well, I'm on all your streams. I'm contributing a lot. Could I be a mod? And I was like, hey, I guess he's never shown me any reason not, to make him a mod. He's on a lot of my streams. So, I moderated him and everything. And then all of a sudden in December, I noticed his attitude toward me started to change. Like he started to say a lot of snide remarks, a lot of insults, almost like underhanded insults in the chat. And I let it slide. I'm like, whatever, it's not a big deal. And then this one day he just went nuts. Like he was like outright insulting me constantly during this one stream.
Right.
And I called him out for it publicly. I'm like, dude, you're like killing the vibe of the stream. Everyone's noticing that you're acting like this now. And he really just had nothing much to say besides that he just didn't like my content anymore. And I was like, then how could you be a moderator? Right? So I demodded him. Then he went nuts. He did his whole ranting, raving stream about how he hates me and all I care about is money and all this stuff. And so,
true.
Of course, everyone knows that. So then after that, he was gone for a long time. Like he was gone for about a month, I would say, maybe. And then all of a sudden one day he comes back. Now he had been banned in Kick.
I just gotta say, Phil, like let's get to the heart of this matter.
Okay.
What is this? What's going on with this Lex girl? You called her a slut.
Okay.
Now you're saying you're not upset, but you called her a slut. Go ahead.
So I don't know anything about this woman at all. I've literally.
Then why did you call her a slut?
Okay, let me tell you because this is what happened. I don't know who she is. I don't really know her content. I've never watched her. I never heard her. None of it.
Shit, bro.
None.
You're full of shit.
I literally have. In fact, I've never said her name.
Then
Not
why
once.
call her a slut?
So basically what's happening is this is what happened with Iron Chef Sakai again. So he gets back in my good graces. He apologizes, says he will never act like that again, starts contributing again. So he's back on the streams. He's asking me to become a mod again. I'm like, no, there's no way anyone's going to trust you as a mod. I won't. No one will. After the way you acted, you can't get your sword back, right? But he continued to show up and support. So all of a sudden one night, I get on the front page of Kick. I guess at the same time that I was on the front page of Kick, they also put whoever this woman is on the front page of Kick.
Lesbo Lex, yeah.
So Iron Chef Sakai goes over there and starts watching her. And then he comes into my chat and he's telling everyone in my chat, hey, everyone, here's what she's doing. You should go check her out. And I was like, dude, that's obviously against the rules. You can't be advertising someone else's content.
Well, why not?
In a competing stream because it's a business.
Okay, so you are upset. You are upset she took your money because
not the money.
The viewership then.
That's right. Let me put it this way.
Seething about the viewership or the money because you're saying it doesn't matter, but you can't advertise a streamer in your chat, so it does matter.
There is no advertisement of anyone in my chat because it's always been the rule. That's like the equivalent of walking into a Subway with coupons handing out for, Papa John or, what's that one? Jimmy John's, right?
Why would it be so wrong in the community? Go, hey, I saw this streamer and they were good.
Oh, that's
would
okay.
be
See,
so wrong with that?
here's the thing. That would be fine. This literally was the entire stream. He's sitting there and he's talking about her, and he's actually trying to convince viewers to go check her out. And then they are, and then they're coming back to my chat to talk about it. It's like, but that's not what my stream is. I don't want to hear about another streamer. I'm trying to have a good time with my audience. So he basically completely derailed the stream.
The fact that Iron Chef Sakai was sprinkling untold thousands of dollars on this woman's head
Mhm.
had nothing to do with you calling her a slut.
No, not at all.
You've not seen any of her content.
Nope.
You don't know anything about her, but you
I-
just chose to call her a slut
I
for
only-
no reason.
All I know about her is what he said in the chat that night. That's what I know about her.
So what did he say that led you to call her a slut?
He said that on stream, her content is that she basically does aerobics on camera in a very provocative way to get people to throw her money.
So you're calling her a slut. Are you aware that you show your feet in underwear for money, Phil?
Of course. Oh, frequently,
And
right? No,
and
we
she
I
doesn't,
don't.
but-
That's
but
not my
she
gimmick,
doesn't-
and you know
but
that.
but she doesn't show her feet. She doesn't show her underwear, and you do. I'm just saying, you called her a slut, and I think it's pretty obvious you're upset that Iron Chef Sakai was giving her money, and it's okay if you were upset about it, Phil.
I
You
legitimately was
want
not
this.
upset about that at all. I didn't care. I cared that he was derailing my stream and advertising someone else's stream on mine. That has always been against the rules, and he
So,
knows
hold
that,
on.
by the way.
All right, let's just move on from that point. You then said that she's not a lesbian. You said that she's bi, or you said what? What did you say exactly, Phil?
So basically, this came up on a stream. I guess we were talking about days later, and I think the discussion was people were actually making fun of Iron Chef Sakai, saying he's a simp. He's going to her streams and he's throwing her money. He's a simp, and I think it came up that someone said, "Well, you know, she's gay. She's a lesbian. She's outright said it on her stream. She has her girlfriend on the stream. So why would you simp out to someone who
But that's what
literally has
you
their
said.
significant other there on the
So
stream?"
You said that she's a lesbian, but she says that she's bi.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, what you're participating in, Phil, is what's called bi erasure. And, I'm just surprised because you have in your title screen at the slideshow at the beginning that you're an LGBTQ ally. And yet, here you are erasing this woman's identity, telling her that you know what her identity is better than her, but you're not upset about Iron Chef Sakai giving her the money.
So follow me on this. All right. You're a streamer. You know that there's people out there that are weak-minded simps and will throw you money if you make semi-sexualized content. It's not all the way, but hey, I work out or whatever, and people throw me money when I do it, right? Is it the honest question to you? If you have a significant other on stream, right, and you say you're gay, and you say, I'm just gay, that's it, and this is my significant other, or if you say you're bisexual, which then would give viewers a thought, oh, wait a minute, she's bi, so she's not just gay with this person on stream. There's other,
No, but
maybe I have
it
a
just-
chance.
It just seems like it's easy for the criticisms from you to flow to her.
Mhm.
But if anybody criticizes you, you have a real problem, right?
Everyone
So you're
criticizes
allowed-
me every
you're- but
moment of
you're-
every day. I
but
don't give
you're-
a shit.
But that's a lie, Phil. Come on. Come on. You see the value. Listen, you get upset when people speculate about your love life and your partner, and yet here you are talking about this woman who apparently you have no idea about, nothing about her streaming career, nothing about her life, and here you are saying she's not actually bisexual, she's a lesbian, and she's exploiting her audience for money and this and that, and she's doing this. Like, do you not see that as hypocritical in any way, Phil?
Hypocritical? No, absolutely not. It's this simple.
No.
Iron Chef Sakai is a simp, and whoever this woman is a simp herder. This is her content. This is what she does, and that's fine. I just don't need to hear about it in my content, and I certainly don't need my streams derailed by this behavior. So Iron Chef Sakai got his ass kicked out of my streams. He's never coming back. I don't care how much more he begs, how much more he grovels, how much he offers to give me. I don't need his money. I don't need his time. I don't need simps trying to fucking derail my shit. I'm
Well,
far above that shit.
Let's talk about LesboLex a little bit more. So, are you upset that she finished the Lego set quicker than you?
No, I didn't
'Cause,
even
like,
know that. I didn't even know
Because
until someone
the
told me.
problem is we're now on the second stream of you doing it, and we're
Mhm.
what, halfway there. She finished it in one stream, so like, are you dumber than a girl, or what?
Well, I actually, you might not realize this, I directly addressed that on my podcast today.
Oh, I heard it. It was a bunch of cope and a bunch of baloney.
Well,
It
here's
was a bunch of bullshit.
isn't it true that for some bizarre reason there is an entire universe of content that's based around what I do? And isn't it a weird anomaly? Like
I do, because I find your content so boring. I don't know how the fuck they can stand it.
I don't get it.
I
I don't
know.
get it. And the thing is, I'm okay with being who I am. Like, I don't need to be some wild character, some guy doing crazy zany things. I fucking bought
No, you
a
be
Lego set.
entertaining.
You know, all I did was get this. And my audience said, will you do something
Well,
different
that's
instead of just
part of my
gaming?
problem too.
Right?
Like, why did you buy the cheapest, shittiest Lego set that's so boring? Couldn't we get the Death Star or Ghostbusters or Ninja Turtles or whatever?
Well, it's a demo basically. And if this is successful, I have told people I will invest into a bigger Lego set when we're done with this one. And the first two streams, we actually did good. I've hit my goals. So, we hit a third one on the finale. I will buy a more expensive, better Lego set that's like an IP or something more interesting. This was just a test. I didn't even know how hard this was going to be. I haven't built Lego since I was like 10 years old.
Because
You know?
everybody's saying that the reason you're so worried about people going over there is because she was doing what you do, but better. And I think that's why you're worried about it. So
Why would I care about that? I'm successful. I'm hitting my goals
I
on my
mean,
streams. I don't care what
if
other
you
people are
talk
doing.
about how it's a business, but if there's a competitor that's doing the same thing but better, that business will go under, no? Especially when they're
No.
taking one of the largest clients of yours
No.
that gave you so much money.
I'll
give you an example. I'll give you
Okay.
an example
Okay.
of how you could have improved your stream and been better than her stream, but hers was better.
Mhm.
So everybody in chat, from what I understand, was asking you to put on background music because it's awkward while you're building the Lego, right? But she turned it on and sacrificed the ad revenue, but you wouldn't do it. Why? Because the ad revenue is legitimately pennies at this point, brother Phil. Like, why not just turn on some like relaxing Nintendo music for your fans? Why are you so chintzy this way?
Oh, it has nothing to do with that. For me, my problem is whenever I try to put something in the background that's not my silly remixes, it ends up getting like muted or blocked. This has happened tons of times. I have like, no lie, I have like 70, 80,000 videos on YouTube, and every day I get like 500 notices that previous videos are blocked.
There's a thing called royalty free, and you could put on a royalty free mix, and then it fills that dead air.
But royalty free does not mean it's okay. What royalty free means is that you can use the song and you don't have to pay a royalty to use it, but you relinquish all rights to your video. And if that person decides to claim your video, they could actually have it muted or blocked if they so choose. And that's happened.
Okay, but I mean, does it really matter? Because it's for the live audience. There's so few people watching on demand at this point, Phil. Just give the live audience what they want, man.
I get.
If you feel like if you give in to it, you've let the detractors win.
No.
But that's what it is, though. You think that if you give in to earnest criticism, that you'll have made the detractors win, when it's actually the opposite. If you took that criticism and improved your show and made your audience that likes your show like it more, the detractors would lose, Phil. It's a backwards mentality. Or it's
excuse
just
me.
You want fucking 60 cents from fucking AdSense.
It has nothing to do with that. It's not the ad revenue that I'm worried about. It's the actual content being blocked or muted. And it's happened a million times. When I used to do my React show, I did it for 2 years, DSP versus the internet. I would be playing a random clip, and because of the music in the clip, the whole stream would get shut down. And now I got to wait like 5 minutes to get my stream back up because YouTube blocks it. And it happens all the time.
I'll just accept it. Let me swing back around to something, right? So this is now the second Lego stream. I don't think you're stupider than Lex, okay? I think that what you're doing is intentionally being slow so that you can milk this Lego set for additional streams. Is that true, Phil?
No, I'm just not. I wasn't aware that I was in any competition with anyone else to build a Lego.
Well,
This
it's
isn't
not
like
a competition.
Phil's
it's just it makes
speedrun.
you look dumber than a lesbian.
Why does it make
is
it look?
all.
Wait. Why would it make me look
Because she
dumber?
finished it
Because she did it faster.
She finished it quicker. Her cognitive abilities were there to do it faster.
But when I'm doing the stream, okay, I'm number one. I'm actually using a new setup, which I actually just the same setup we actually just used to do these cards. I'm using to do the Lego now. So I'm trying to get it in frame. I'm messing with the camera and all of that to get it working. I'm not in any rush. I'm hanging out with the audience. I'm literally having a conversation with my audience. It's considered a hangout stream, right? We never were of any impression that there was a rush to finish this. I mean, if that was the case, I would have had it done the first night. I could have rushed through it and done it, but I'm not in any rush. I was doing it for myself because my fans wanted to do it. They wanted something different. All of a sudden, this weird DSP universe emerges where everyone wants to show that I'm better than DSP. So this woman buys it, ReviewTech buys it, they all buy it, and they're building it on their streams. Oh, look, I'm better than Phil. Phil doesn't care. Phil doesn't give two fucks about you.
I can tell that you're angry about it.
No, I'm not. I think it's
No, but
funny and bizarre and weird that these people orbit around me and I'm the center of their universe and everything that I do somehow inspires them to do things different or better.
I agree with you to a degree. The vortex, the snortex, or whatever it is fucked. The people in it are wacky. Whether they're fucking detractors or fans or whatever, I'll ask you, like, what did you think about this fucking guy that was saying all these slurs to Lex and going in on her and death threats against her? You saw that?
I didn't about slurs. I heard about the death threat, but here's the thing. All right. I'm on my break. I have a rare 2 days off in a row to spend time with my wife. We had plans and everything. I'm paying no attention to what's going on the internet on purpose. Like, I want to be disconnected from the internet. I come back from my break and I'm getting yelled at. Why is someone who claims to be your fan giving a death threat to this woman? How the fuck do I know? What are you talking about? I don't know who this is. I didn't see it.
Let me play devil's advocate.
Okay.
Do you feel like when you call this woman a slut, when you participate in buy erasure and go after her identity, do you feel like you cultivate an atmosphere of hate that would lead to this woman being harassed?
Well, to follow up on that comment, because I can answer this very easily. Do you feel that every single person who's made fun of me on the internet has created a cultivating atmosphere of hate that people now want to kill me because of it?
Yes.
Well, there you go. Then that's the answer.
You know, I don't know, Phil. Like, you can't have it both ways, you know, because you say that they create that atmosphere of hate around you, and then here you are doing the same thing to this girl. Now, personally, I don't really give a fuck, and I said as I'm doing devil's advocate because I don't feel people should be held responsible for the behavior of their fans. I don't think you can control what your fans do, and I think we wouldn't have very many content creators left if we held people to that standard, because there's all sorts of Looney Tunes and fucking psychos out there. But I think you calling her a slut... Let me ask you this, Phil. Do you think you have a problem with women?
No, not at all. I have no problems with women, actually.
Ever?
I mean, women who have done things, bad things to me personally, but not in general, no.
I mean, I have this post that you wrote back in 2003.
Oh, this is great.
And people say that this is your incel manifesto.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about, You say, shit, every woman I've ever known was either extremely selfish and self-centered, too busy feeling sorry for herself to do anything else, too annoying and or geeky to stand for more than 30 minutes, too stupid to listen to advice they ask for, doing stupid things and then complaining to you because they went totally against what you told them. 5, a total slut. Now, Phil, that 5th bullet point, a total slut, that's the same language you used in 2025 as in 2003.
That's right.
So have you changed from this, essay, this diatribe against women, or do you have a problem with women, or what?
Well, first of all, I've talked about this. My past, I was an internet troll. I was purposefully making content that would incense people on the internet for attention. I was kind of a loser and was looking for attention on the internet because my real life was pretty boring. I did the same thing in the Street Fighter community. You can find all kinds of crazy posts I made back then that were very trollish, very stupid stuff. And I've since then, you know, especially with these documentaries that have come out.
But you still call women sluts.
Well,
And you still erase their sexual identity and take away their individuality from them.
well,
Like they're
because
an
that's my,
object.
because that's my opinion. I'm entitled to it. You know, if
Okay.
there's listen, if someone is going to make content on the internet and the content is based on showing their body in a provocative way, and they're going to get money based on doing that, that is sexualized
So,
content.
but
And you
didn't
can,
you say you've never seen any of her content?
I haven't. I've only heard what they told me it was in my chat. So
Because
based on what I've
I
heard,
I have seen some of her content. She's not in a bikini. She's not in a hot tub. She's not showing her underwear. She's not showing her feet like you do. So I just it's very strange for you to have this position, and I think ultimately it comes back down to she took your money and you're pissed. And
she didn't take my money. She took Iron Cuck's money. She didn't take my money.
but isn't Iron Cuck's money your money?
No, none of my viewers' money is my money until they give it to me. Then it's my money. Then I have the right to do whatever I want with it. But I'm not entitled to their money.
Then why were you so upset when he went over there and when he promoted her stream in your chat? Because you're worried that you're going to lose your money, right?
I don't give a crap about what any of my viewers do outside of my streams, but I do care about what they do on my streams. And that behavior is not allowed. It never has been in the entirety of the time that I made content. It's a strict rule. No advertising anyone else who's a creator or competitor in my content, period, because this is my place of business. No other business will allow another business to advertise in theirs. That's considered, you know, a competition. I was on the front page of Kick. She was on the front page of Kick. That's just not allowed. It's just common sense in any business. Like I said, you can't go in a Subway and advertise a competing sandwich shop.
I want to know, like, then why call her a slut? Why say that she's faking being bi and she's actually a lesbian?
Because number one, I'm basing that off of what people are saying in my chat, which is that she's making sexualized content for money.
Let me stop you right there. So when people listen to a detractor and then they come after you and fuck with you, is that okay based on what they heard from a third-hand source?
I would say it depends on the extent. It depends on the extent of what's being said. Because you're not always going to go direct to the source. I know that. I'm not stupid. But there's a lot of people who they'll hear something and then they'll make a judgment by it. But then perhaps they'll actually check it out for themselves and then they'll have a different opinion.
Listen,
in this case, I have no desire to ever check out her content. I don't care about this person. I will never care about this person.
Well, you do care. 'Cause I can tell you care. But here's my advice to you in these circumstances. Because really what you should have done is just said nothing about her. Because you didn't watch her streams. You didn't know what she was doing. You don't really know. And sometimes you just have to take that fucking L and move on. And if you are saying you're not about drama, you're about positivity and all of this stuff that you say in meaningful content, then that's how you should be acting, right, Phil? Sometimes, listen, she fucking stole your pay pig. She made fun of you. She did a bunch of detractor memes. She didn't even know what the fuck she was doing. You know what I mean? But then you come out and you call her a slut and you erase her sexual identity and say it's something different. And then this is where you get into trouble, right? Whereas if you just said fucking nothing, there would be no ammunition. Or, you know what? Here's what I would do if I was pissed. Just go full balls to the wall. Fuck that bitch. She's a lesbian. She's a sinner. She's going to hell. But you can't have it both ways, brother Phil. You can't have it both ways.
Well, here's the thing, and this is the funny part about all of it, right? So we just spent more time talking about this by about 10 times than what I've spent on my streams talking about it. Like, I think literally there was the one comment that I made about her, and then there was the second comment where I said that IronChefSakai was a simp for her. And when someone said, oh, well, she's gay, but she's bi, and I was like, no, she's not. She's milking these idiots because they're so dumb and they're gullible, and that's why they're giving them their money. And that was literally the extent of the content that I made about this person or said anything.
Would you apologize to her for the statements that you made?
Will she apologize for all the shit that she said about me on the streams to milk
See,
money
but
out of detractors?
but this is the thing is you know you shouldn't have to like expect her to do the right thing in order for you to do the right thing, right?
Here's the right thing to do. Just move on, which I already have. I don't talk about this one. Like I said, I'm not even kidding you. Less than 5 minutes. That's how much of my content was taken up talking about this subject. There was the discussion with IronChefSakai where I told him, you're derailing my content, and I banned him. Then there was the discussion where I did say that thing about her once because it was in response to a comment. And then later on, I called him a simp, and I said, yeah, I don't really believe that she's bi. I think she's milking people. It was like 5 minutes, if that. And then I moved on. It's not me that creates these situations. It's this vortex that's around me that
No.
hyper
But
fixates and blows it up for their own content.
But you, Phil, are a part of the vortex. Do you understand?
No,
that you
here's the
drove-
truth. I'm the eye of the vortex, but I don't care about the vortex, and I don't want to be a part of the vortex because if I did care and I did become a part, that would be all I am. I would just be
Phil,
engulfed
I
in it
believe-
constantly.
But you are engulfed in it. It is chaos all the time. And what I find interesting is a lot of the time, like I'll say, you know, you don't have to respond to this or you don't have to address this. Whatever they're saying about you on any given day, you don't have to let them control you. Because a lot of the shit they say is nonsense. But the thing is, you respond to it. And then when you respond to it and you talk about it, it enables the vortex to continue. Do you see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying, but it's impossible to not respond when people bring it up. I'm not going to ignore everyone in my chat.
But sir, you have to ignore it, or the vortex will always consume you. Sometimes,
Yeah,
listen,
that's funny.
there's
Consume
so-
you.
There's so much. Listen, Phil. People say so much nasty shit about me every day, and if I responded to it all the time, it would be all I ever do. Which half of the time is all you ever do is respond to the shit that these people are saying.
Oh,
And then
that was true in the past.
The reaction no,
That was
it's
definitely true in the past. That is not true today. No, it is not. No, it is
Fire,
not.
it's so true, sir.
I am
actually trying to help you.
I am so different
swear
today
to
than how I
God.
used to be because you're right. I used to get so angry about every single little stupid insignificant thing that was said about me, and I would bring it up and I would rage against it. And today I don't give two fucks about these people. I don't.
Listen,
5 minutes, not even 5 minutes spent on this, but they made it 2 weeks.
Well, I think you did 25 minutes on the Lego thing, the Lego cope today.
That was good.
You know,
that was a good segment. I enjoyed that.
Listen, it is a good segment, but I have a feeling that you do actually, on a deep down level, know what you're doing. And know that it is in your best interest to keep the vortex going. Because it is. It's a symbiotic relationship between you and the detractors.
It's all my master plan.
But it kind of is. It kind of is in a way. Now, people are saying you don't know what you're doing. Sometimes you do and sometimes you don't, I think. But I think you do. I think that you got to realize you are enabling what they're doing. And if you just ignore their narratives, their narratives would die out or they would only exist over there. But
that's literally where they only exist, though. Like, it doesn't exist in my stream. I told you, my stream, this was less than 5 minutes. What you're addressing is the detractor vortex around me. If you actually attend my streams, this is not my content. Like you said, that Lego segment was an observation about Rich and her and maybe a couple others even all buying Legos and building them because I built them. But that's not me angry. That's just an observation, and it's a piece of content for my podcast. And then I move on, and we have a fun day. What did we do today? We played a game. We hung out. That's what my content is. It's 5 minutes. 5 minutes of me becomes 50 hours for them. But I don't care because I'm not involved in it.
Here's what I say. What is your hypothesis as to why this persists to this day and why this has been created around you, but it's not really like that for many other creators?
Profits. That's why.
But there is ways to, A-log it and make profitable content out of other creators. But with you in particular, there seems to be it's very dedicated. And And I feel like it's partly because you feed them constantly
But there's
with
no
the
way to not
reactions
feed
that
them.
they want. But
There's
there
no way to
is,
not
though.
feed them because
Like,
literally
you have
everything
free
I
will.
do is turned into something by them. If I have the most absolute boring time, they still turn it into something. If I don't make content for 2 days, they have someone go out and post a death threat and say that they're doing it in my name. I wasn't even on the internet. So
But
it doesn't
the thing
matter
is,
what I do.
you don't even have to respond to that stuff. You know what I mean? You really don't. It's like I told you too, when it came to that June the King documentary, I said to you, and this was potentially cucking the content for everybody, but I said, Phil, you know, you don't actually have to react to the whole thing. You know, you don't actually have to do that. And it's probably only hurting you to do so. You know what I mean? And you still went ahead with it, you know, for whatever reasons you had. But I think it might have been better for you had you not reacted to it, or it might not have made any difference. But
I don't know. I think I did the right thing there. I really do, because I feel like all that shit is now in the past, and anyone who's still talking about that stuff, it's like, you know, so many people saw the documentary and were like, that's it. You would be surprised how many people contact me. They were like, that's it? That's why people are so angry with you all these years?
I know, and I've had a lot of people message me that as well. But I think part of the problem that you run into, Phil, let me be honest, is that you feel like you need to control the narrative. Do you feel that way?
I don't think I can control the narrative. All I can do is on my own stream, right? Try to put out the best kind of content that doesn't get sucked into that drama sphere. And that's the best I can do with the situation I'm in. I'm never going to be able to completely separate myself from it because they're always going to pull me back in no matter how much I try.
I just think, honestly, you embrace the whole thing and just start battling it. Like, the thing is, if you want to, there's two paths. You either don't engage with any of it and you just let it fucking go and don't try and control the narrative, or fuck, let's just bring duty on. Let's bring that being said on. Argue with them about all of this shit and just settle the fucking shit. You know what I mean? And
But
make money off of it.
That's the point here. It'll never be settled because people like them, they always move the goalpost because they need more content for the next day. If I'm not here making content that they can make fun of, then they just make something up anyway. So it doesn't matter. Like, I will never appease those people. I mean, I might benefit from that. If I made that kind of drama content, I probably would get views and I would make money, but that's not the kind of person or the kind of creator that I am. And I don't want to be that kind of creator.
Do you feel that everybody who has criticisms of you is like bad faith and they're always going to be bad and against you, that none of them are fair?
Oh, no, that's not true at all. There's definitely people who have fair criticisms, and I enjoy hearing the fair criticisms, and I feel like I have been able to improve myself a lot, especially these last couple of years, because of those fair criticisms. But then there's the people who just outright will lie no matter what.
Can you name somebody who was a critic of yours or detractor of yours that you feel would be in good faith to have a conversation with?
I don't know. I'd have to look into it because I do not watch detractor content. God's honest truth, I don't.
Well,
I don't know what
like,
I mostly
hear
don't know what
this-
they
I
say.
don't know how to say his name, this alt guy or ALT guy. From that being said, I've heard he's a pretty reasonable guy. He's a pretty level-headed guy.
I didn't even know that's who that is because people say ALT in my chat all the time, and I had no idea that he was from that show because I've never heard it.
And I hear that he knows the lore inside and out. And a lot of the time when it comes to these conversations, I just don't have the knowledge, and I try my best to understand this last 16 years of your life, but it's like I don't have the time. Like, these guys experienced it in real time for decades following you, and so they're able to go back and forth with you on this stuff, whereas with me it's like, okay, like, I'm talking about shit that happened 12 years ago, you know, I don't fucking know. So, like, I feel like at a certain point, this whole, like, community has to come together in a way, and there has to be at least some sort of a resolution on this with the people who know it best. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's only to your benefit at this point to talk about it with these people and show everybody that you're open and honest about it. You know what I mean?
I hear what you're saying, but again, that only benefits me if that's what I want to do and that's the kind of content I want to make. And it's not. I don't want to be involved with these people. I don't want to be in drama content.
But
You know,
you
everyone.
insert yourself in drama content, Phil.
Wait.
do.
I insert myself. Hold on a second
You-
now. Hold on. So you're gonna tell me that Iron Chef Sakai going over to someone else's stream, coming on mine, and literally derailing my entire business. That was me. I did that.
Well, is that derailing your entire business? The guy was-
Absolutely. Absolutely. The
giving
entire
money
Kick
to
chat was
somebody
talking
else.
about it.
Okay. So here's my next question. So what happens if one of your guys comes over and donates to me? Or one of my guys goes over and donates to you? Like, is there jealousy? Is there bitterness? Is
No.
there anger?
No, and
Is
that's
it
happened
ruining
many
your
times, I'm
business?
sure. I'm absolutely sure that's happened tons of times. And that's fine. Everyone is, in my opinion, maybe other people disagree, everyone can do whatever they want outside of the realm of your own stream, business, or content. So when you're here and you're in my chat, welcome. Please abide by the rules. You know what they are. And as soon
But
as you leave,
nobody else-
I have no
but
control over
nobody
anything
else-
you say or do or
nobody else-
anything.
But nobody else has rules like this, Phil. Like, if somebody's in my fucking chat, oh, hey, I like this guy's stream, I'm not going to ban that guy. I think that that's fucking nuts, to be honest. And I think that, again, you're deflecting from the reality that you're upset that you felt that was your money
It's not.
that then went
It's not
to
why I
her.
was upset. I'm telling you. And you can say that as much as you want, and I know I won't convince you, but that's not the reason. That's not it.
Can you even convince yourself of it?
I'm 100% convinced. Again,
do you
this
even
is
believe your own bullshit? Like, have you pignatized yourself to that extent
if
that
you
actually believe that?
let me ask you this. Now I know this is a dumb food hypothetical, but these always work for me for some
You're
reason.
doing it again.
I'm doing
Oh,
it again.
Okay.
You walk into Subway. You have every intention of ordering a Subway sandwich. You're hungry for Subway, okay? But everyone around you is standing there talking about how the Jersey Mike's sub shop next door is so good and so much better than Subway, right? What's going to happen? Are you going to stand there and order your Subway, or you're going to, oh my God, there's a whole bunch of people here saying that Jersey Mike's is better. You're going to go next door, right?
So so just like the sandwich shop, you're worried about lost profits. So I'm right.
I'm worried about people being convinced that other content is better because they're seeing it being advertised for free in my show.
But if it is, and you can't compete, like, the problem isn't that it's being advertised. The problem is that you can't compete, so you need to be better. You get what I'm saying?
Which, in my opinion, I think I am in most cases, maybe not every case, but I don't need people cross-advertising in my content. That's never been allowed. I mean, this is all the way back from the days of Toby Turner was running ads because he had a tie-in with Madden, like in 2010. Right. And he had these ads running on everyone's videos that were gamers. Were like, wait a minute, why is Toby Turner advertising his gaming channel on my fucking content? That's completely unfair. It's a predatory practice. It shouldn't even be allowed on YouTube. And since then, that's always been my philosophy. I think it is.
Though?
I totally think it is.
Like, I don't know, man. Like, I just think that you're salty. You know? Like, I don't know what to say. Like,
that's your opinion. You're entitled to it. I'm not upset by that.
I just think if you were a bit more honest about things and were directly like, listen, fuck this slut. I don't believe in this. Da-da-da-da. I'm pissed that she took Iron Chef Sakai's money away from me. I think that that's, something that people can understand and get behind. But this whole, I wasn't upset, but I called her a slut, but people can't advertise, but it's not because I'm worried about losing money stuff. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, it doesn't make any sense because you don't have the same belief system as me. Like, I really am not upset about... if I was upset about Iron Chef Sakai, why would I have banned him?
Do you live in your own world, or...
Of course I live in my own world. We all do. We all live in our own moral, values and belief systems. We all have different perspectives on stuff, and that's okay. It's okay to not agree on something. Like I said, with Iron Chef Sakai, I appreciate everything that he did for myself and my business. I really do.
Let me ask you something.
But I banned him for a reason, because I had enough.
But the thing is, you advertise yourself in, like, my chat, or you did for a while. Huh. Like, should I have banned you?
If you felt like you wanted to, sure. And you had the right to.
Would you want me to do that?
It's up to you. It's your call. There's
You
other
know,
people who I'm friendly with, and they have come in and advertised stuff in my chat, and because I'm friendly with them, I say that's allowed.
Right. Can you just admit that you were upset about losing out on the money? And
I'm
that's
not.
what you
I am
So,
literally
is it
not
that
in
you is
one
it that
piece
you
upset
have
about that.
so it has nothing to do with the money. So is it that she's a woman? Because
No.
you know,
I
is
don't
it
like
that she's
predatory
lesbian?
content. I don't like predatory content. I never have. I feel like there's a level of content out there that's very exploitative, that takes advantage of certain people. Okay, and a lot of people will say that about me, and you might say, "Well, is this contradictory for yourself?" My content, you know what you're going to get when you come on my stream. There's no misrepresentations of anything. You know that we're not going to be close
Well,
personal
I
friends or anything better than that. But you know that if you support my content will continue.
but
So if you like me and my content and you want to see it
I
continue and you want to support improvement,
I think
support my
when you
content.
say stuff like it's a drama-free show, I mean that's you don't get that because there's drama all the time. Whether it's you going after ReviewTechUSA, which you did collabs with me,
Mhm.
whether it's you talking about Keemstar or you calling this Lex girl a slut, like of course you participate in drama.
But
So
it's
when
not
you're
the
saying
focus. That's
what
right, but
should
it's
be
not the focus.
but I mean, listen, I'll be real. I think you should do more of that
Oh, I
because
know.
I think it's a lot more entertaining. And I feel like this segment where we're going back and forth and talking, I feel like it's very entertaining. I feel like a lot of people are entertained and captivated by it.
But
And
I will
I
make an observation now, okay? This segment has now gone on for about 45 minutes, okay?
yeah, we went about 15 minutes over what I wanted to go, but
We have received during this segment about $5 in contributions. My
what for you?
audience doesn't care about this. They never did. They want to hang out with me. They want to have chill streams. They want to enjoy games. That's what my audience wants.
Here's my point. I think that your audience, it's kind of like a sinking ship in a way. You have your core supporters, but as time they get peeled off. And eventually you're going to have to expand into a new audience, into new horizons, because you can't rely on the same 20 people forever, sir. And if you're just doing these gameplays like you're doing in this oversaturated market, it's not going to grow, King.
Mhm.
So you know, like I know, like I maybe I'm coming across as a prick or an asshole, but I'm genuinely trying to help you try and like reach a new audience of people that might actually be entertained, sir.
Mhm. And I appreciate that. It's obvious that as much as people say shit like, you know, the Kino Casino is just messing with you, they're going to snake you, they actually don't like you. I actually feel like it's the opposite. It's that you want to help me, but you see the kind of person I am, that I'm a stubborn individual, and it hurts
Yes.
you to see that
No.
I
It,
won't
it's
change, right?
brutal. It's brutal. No, Phil, it's fucking brutal, bro.
I just want you to
You know,
know I am well aware. People say
I
I'm not
know,
self-aware.
you
I am
guys know
fully
somebody.
self-aware of all of this going on. I'm not
Oh my
stupid.
god. You guys know, like, I'll pitch this idea. If no, this doesn't work for me, brother. Okay, what about the no, brother? Like, or he does do it, but it takes a long time. It's tough. Like working with Phil is draining. It sucks my soul. And it's not your fault entirely, Phil. It's also everybody around you. Everybody involved in all of this shit
Yeah.
is fucked in the head,
th-
including me and you.
Here's
And
the
so
truth.
it's just like a bastion of mental illness, like a fucking asylum
If we
of
were
fucking
just
nut bars.
if we were just able to work together and do the fun content that we think would work, but we can't, because every moment we got to wonder, how is it going to be taken by this? Who's going to spin it this way? Will they support it or not? You know what I mean? Like, it's weird. It's not just we could just do stuff that we think will work. You always got to have this fucking thought about what about
Well,
what about the
no,
sphere, the
but
vortex? How's that going to affect it?
this is what I think has happened is that, if you watch like Kitchen Nightmares, and Chef Ramsay will come in and there was somebody who was talented, but the chef will say, you lost your passion. To me, it feels like you lost your passion.
Oh,
It feels to me like you lost that spirit of wanting to create and wanting to make good stuff, and you just serve up whatever fucking shitty slop just to pump it out 6 days a fucking week and fill the schedule, and your passion is gone. and it's probably been gone for 7 or 8 years now. That's my assessment.
I lost my passion in 2016 when I was doing the offline style videos. I basically was streaming, but I was actually ignoring the audience. Like, imagine I literally didn't address anyone tonight who contributed or nothing. Like, that's how I was streaming. I mean, what a dunce move, right? But then when I became an interactive streamer and I started talking with the audience and having these social conversations and shout outs, the content changed much for the better. And I like who I am now. I like the content I put out now, and my audience does. Now, you're right. I'm not going to have the same size of audience forever. And I am trying to slowly try to transition into other things, as everyone has seen. There's different content, different things I'm doing. But you have to understand that I've been doing this for almost 17 years. It's not going to be an overnight change. It's not something I want to do overnight, because I like what I'm doing before as well. I did like doing some of this drama stuff, and I think we'll do more of it. But I also don't want to become Mr. Drama overnight. You know what I'm saying?
It's just what I think. I just think when I brought you on to Kino Casino the first time, and then we had the interview, or not the interview, but the co-op react about Review Tech, and then we had the Josh Moon interview, there was so much momentum and such a groundswell of people that were going to give you a second look, a second opportunity. And I just feel like you did not capitalize on that opportunity. And it's not entirely your fault. There's a lot of people that, you know, said they wanted to work with you or do interviews with you or debates with you, and it fell through. But ultimately, it falls down on you to produce a product that is going to hold people's attention and entertain them and turn them into longtime Phil fans. And you had such a good opportunity, and I just feel like you let it slip right through your fingers because you were too comfortable clinging to what you do now, which it's enough to get by for now. But, you know, 50 is coming, Phil. You know, you'll soon be 50 years old, 60. You know, you got to be thinking, like, are you going to be 60 and playing Ninja Turtles, Call of Duty? Is that your life?
Of course not. And I'm trying to prepare my audience for that. I've been telling them for years, this is why I need to diversify and do other things. And there's a lot of pushback when you're someone who's doing a certain kind of content for so long, and that's what got you notoriety, and that's why you have a long-standing, hardcore, positive fan base that will stand by you through thick and thin and all these years of bullshit. It's tough. It is. I wish it would be an easy thing to do. It's not. I can't just abandon everyone who I've worked with and who supported me for all these years. But at the same time, they know that. I've told them, this is why I have a podcast now instead of just playing games. This is why I want to branch out and do different kinds of commentary shows. This is why I need to branch out and do interviews. It has to happen. It can't just be me sitting here playing games till I'm dead. I'm not going to be able to. I'm going to get carpal tunnel, right? I can't do it anymore. And I know that, and I've said that to them many times. So it is, I totally get where you're coming from. I do. It's a valid conversation. I appreciate the effort. I appreciate the fact that you have given me a chance, and you continue to give me a chance. We're still working together and doing stuff, you know?
You know, we've had this conversation privately, but I feel like it comes to the point, because a lot of people don't understand, like, what I'm trying to do with Phil content or interacting with you or interacting with the rest of the Vortex and the community. And I just kind of want to put the cards on the table publicly as to where I am with it and how I view you and how I view this whole thing going down and where I'd like it to go, you know, because I think a lot of people are confused, and that, you know, that's because, you know, there's kayfabe, and sometimes not, of course, most of the time the things I'm saying aren't meant to be taken literally. But I genuinely think, Phil, that if you don't make some real changes real soon and get passionate about what you're doing for your job and excited about it again, you're going to be in a really, really bad spot, bro. And, you know, you are considered one of the treasures of the internet. And we don't want to, you know, some people want to see you in a really bad place, and they want to see you homeless, and they want to see you die. And, you know, sometimes I understand why, but I don't want that for you. Even though I understand sometimes why they hate you so much, because sometimes you just do shit that's so retarded, I don't want to see you die, Phil. I want to see you succeed. I want to see you win. I want to see you prosperous. I want to see the whole community, the whole Vortex excited and having fun. And that's what I want. So that's why I decided to go off a little bit more tonight.
It's all good. It's totally all good. And I think this is more transparency for the viewers too, because a lot of them seriously think that you guys are like trying to screw me and stuff, which I know neither you or Andy are. I know that, but they don't see that, right? They don't hear this. They think there's some evil plot behind it. And I get it. It's for me, it's going to be a slower process, but I think that we'll get there. It's just a matter of time and finding the right way to do it. Because again, it's a tricky thing for me. I easily could have jumped fully into the drama stuff back in the fall, right? When we were hot with it. We were. But what I started to see from my core audience, the people who were there every day to support me, was saying, Phil, what are you doing? This is not what we want for you. This is not, this is not who you are. And if you do this, we're gonna leave. And I can't just have the people who made me who I am today upset and leave. At the same time, I know I can't play games forever. It's got to be a balance. And everyone wants me to run a million miles an hour towards change. I want to do things differently, but it's got to be a balanced process, and we will get there.
What we got to have is you stick to something, man. You got to stick to something, because, it's like the politics show. It's a novelty, and then the money falls off, and you're like, fuck it. The Lego stream, it might be the same thing. It's like a novelty. It does well, and then you just let it fucking go. But you have to stick with these things sometimes. Like with the wrestling show, we've managed to stick with it, even though there's been slow weeks, there's been good weeks. And I think that that's a good thing, but you can't just, start off in one direction and then, fuck it, it's no good. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you do that a lot of the time,
It's hard because I don't really feel like anything that I've tried has had the long-term success that I would, you know what I mean? Like you guys, your show does so good, and mine, nothing that I do really sticks around besides the consistent shit that I agree will go into decline. These efforts that I've tried to do new stuff haven't really worked. I've tried different interviews. They kind of flopped. They didn't really work. I tried to get other guests. They don't want to come on. They want to dodge, right? It's like, come on, man. I want to do this stuff. I do. I was willing to do it. And then it's just like, is it really worth it? And I hear you. Like, it feels like I went right back to square one, but at the same time, I'm doing good. I'm actually doing better than I was, which is great. But I agree with you that there has to be some changes too. I'm with you on this. I am.
I don't know, man. We just go like completely outside the box. I don't know. Maybe we do fucking workout streams. Maybe we do you fucking walking around the neighborhood live stream. I don't know. But we gotta find something for you, man. We gotta find something for you that you can do comfortably and successfully and grow your audience, because I'm just worried for you, man. I just genuinely am worried for you. So.
Well, I appreciate that. I do. I really do. People think that like I'm dumb and you're fooling me, and then people think that you're some evil person trying to mess with me. I don't think, neither is true. But that's what the drama queens want to believe, but I don't think that's the case at all. By the way, we did get a lot of support, and I got to get out of here. So let's
I kept you way too long.
Do final shout outs here.
Now we got into this sad moral lecture bullshit. But, it's supposed to be a wrestling show there, folks. And I think, what do you want to do? Do you want to do Raw next week, Phil? Or do you want to do NXT as well? Or do you want to do Raw and SmackDown?
Let's do two shows. I'm down for either Raw and SmackDown or Raw and NXT. What do you think? I'll do two shows next week. A double show.
Let's do Raw and SmackDown.
Okay.
I think. And then let's just see, because then we'll get a broader perspective on the whole situation, because we've been missing out on half the storyline. So I think we'll try and do that. I think it'll be on Tuesday. I think.
Okay.
I think so.
Unless it changes, that'll work for me.
We might have to push it till Thursday or whatever, but it's like now we're moving the show around all over the place.
I know. Makes it even more confusing. So
I got the drip going. 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 It's like a faucet that's dripping. Can't make it stop. So what do you want me to do? Have a mute button that every second I'm tapping the mute button just in case I'm gonna have to clear? Like, this is what I mean. These dumb kids. This is what it is. It's dumb kids.